I used to think building wealth came from working harder, but the Bible showed me that it is a spiritual promise and not a hustle tactic. And the moment I realized this, I stopped chasing money and started attracting it God's way. Now imagine for a moment what your life would be like if you didn't have to hustle, burn yourself out, work a job that you don't desire to work, compromise your family and your values in order for you to earn an income and provide for your family. Guess what? That is not God's plan for you. There is a better way, and we're going to get into it today. Hey there, I am Naomi, and I help ambitious women like you to break free from burnout and hustle culture so you can build income in alignment with your faith, values, and purpose without compromising your peace and your family. Maybe you're like I was, stuck in survival mode, believing that if I could just work harder, then finally I would get ahead. But the harder I work, true abundance felt further and further away. Sounds familiar? I was exhausted from working harder, trying harder, doing all the things that I could do in my power to get ahead. But it felt like a never ending cycle of stagnation and tiredness. However, that was my wake up call. That was the moment I realized I had to turn to God because what I was doing in my own strength wasn't working anymore and will probably never work. That was when God opened my eyes and made me realize that wealth and provision is spiritual. So let's unpack this. In Genesis 3, verse 17, when Adam sinned, God said, "You will provide for yourself by toiling the ground. By the sweat of your face, you will eat bread." This made provision the first and one of the biggest areas affected by sin. Think about this for a moment. Of all the things that were impacted by sin, provision was one of the biggest. Why? Because providing for ourselves and our family is one of the most powerful things that is tied to our existence, our heritage, and our survival. Guess what? This is why the enemy attacked it so hard, because he knows that if he can distort the way you provide, he can distort the way you live, how you worship, and how you walk out your God-given purpose here on earth. He knows that provision is spiritual. That is why when we try to make it happen all in our own strength, it feels like a never-ending cycle of thriving and just hustling. But here's the thing, wealth was never meant to come from endless grinding. It's a spiritual matter. And when we reconnect with God, our true provider, we step out of hustle and into divine provision. It's about letting God guide your steps, providing ideas, opportunities, and strategies that don't cost you your peace, your faith, your family, and your health. And probably you're asking, Naomi, how do I reconnect with God? And I want you to know this, that you reconnect with God through Jesus. And this isn't something that is reserved for a special group of people. It's a birthright that has been given to every one of us. And the moment you surrender and you said yes to Jesus, you're naturally reconnected with God as your provider, your source, and the one who guides every areas of your life. Jesus came to restore what was lost, to restore to us a place where provision is rooted in trust, obedience, and connection to Him. And that is why you have scriptures like Matthew 6, verse 33, saying to us, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you." And Deuteronomy 8 also reminds us, "Remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the power to create wealth." God doesn't call us to grind ourselves into the ground. He doesn't call us to sacrifice our health, our family, and our peace for a paycheck. Because guess what? He is our ultimate provider. But don't get me wrong, this doesn't mean that we sit idle by. This is not about being lazy or passive. It's about partnering with God, allowing Him to lead us and guide our strategies and open doors that we can't open so we can thrive to build wealth His way with peace and purpose. And if you're someone who has already broken free from the hustle culture and learned to trust God as your ultimate provider, I would love to hear from you. Let us know in the comments how this shift has changed your life and what has your journey been like. Just know that your testimony can be a beacon of hope to another sister on this journey. So let's all cheer and support each other on. Go ahead, let us know in the comments. I can tell from personal experience, this isn't the easiest shift to make. For a long time, I was hardwired to think if I don't do it, nobody will, and nobody got me like have got me. So letting go of this mindset was scary and unnatural, even though I was sick and tired of living this way. But the moment I started to trust God, sister, the moment I started to trust God, even though this was hard for me at first, the moment I start releasing this survival mentality and started embracing and trusting God for provision, that was when everything changed. Suddenly, I was working from a place of rest and alignment. Not because I stopped working, but because I stopped hustling. If this video is speaking to you so far, and this has opened your eyes and enlightened you, and you're someone who desires to make the shift from hustling to trusting God as your ultimate provider, I want to encourage you to please be gentle with yourself, because it does take time and God totally understands, and He is very patient. So just be gentle with yourself and take baby steps each day. It's progress over perfection. And one of the reasons why it can be so hard for us to see God as our ultimate provider and shift from the hustle culture is because this is something that has been hardwired and ingrained in us from we were small. The world glorifies the hustle cultures. It glorifies us doing things in our own strength because that is the way it is done, right? That is the way everybody do it, and that is exactly how we're supposed to do it. So most of the times we weren't told anything different. The world tells us to work harder, longer hours, even if we have to sacrifice or family or values or health, the things that matter to us most, and putting yourself through burnout or overwhelm. But that is not God designed for us, because when we try to provide apart from God, we run the risk of drifting away from Him and walking out of alignment with the very thing that He called us and created us to do. God didn't call us to hustle. He called us to rest and trust. So if you're tired of burning out, tired of striving for provision that doesn't seem to come, and you're ready for a better way, a more aligned way, just know that I am here to help you break free from the grind, step into your purpose, and create income in a way that aligns with your value, your family, and your purpose. If this message spoke to you, if it gave you clarity or a fresh lens on provision and purpose, drop in the comments, no more hustle, and let's declare this together, because I believe this is something that we all desire to achieve in one way or another. Also, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with someone else who came to mind. Even if nobody came to mind, just share the video somewhere and join our growing community. At the moment, you can see that this channel is new, but I look forward to having you here to partner with you. Also, remember to check out the description below for our free resources and our practical steps and guides that can help you to take things to another level. And together, we are going to build a new path, one that is rooted in trust, obedience, abundance, all for God's glory. And never forget, you don't have to hustle for provision. No, my friend, not anymore. You don't have to do this, because God is calling you to walk in alignment, to rest in His promises for your life, so that you can build a life and the income that glorifies God, something that you totally enjoy doing, that doesn't feel like work, that helps, that you get up each and every morning excited to get started on and don't want to stop. The decision is, will you thrive in your own strength, or will you surrender your provision to the one who gave you the breath to work in the first place? I know sometimes it is so much said than done, because this is a path that I have walked, but let me tell you, surrendering is one of the best things that you could ever do. God is our ultimate provider, and there is no way that we can provide in the way in alignment with His will and His purpose for our life unless we surrender to Him and let Him lead the way, because this is what He truly desired to do. As the Bible tells us, the blessings of the Lord make it rich and had no sorrow to it. This doesn't mean that we stop working. It means that we trust and we rest and God lead us in the way that He desires for us to go, without sacrificing the things that matter to us. In my next video, I will be sharing more on this topic about how wealth and provision is spiritual, and how we can finally break free from the burnout and the hustle culture and start align ourselves with God's way of providing for ourselves and their family in a way that doesn't compromise our values. So make sure to look out for that next video. I upload a new video every Thursday, so be sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss out. Stay tuned, be blessed, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.